Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your main man, Six Paps Dunga, coming back again with another reaction video. Hey, as long as you guys keep requesting reaction videos, the more I'm gonna keep doing it, man. I honestly love doing these, you know what I'm saying? You know why. I get to talk to you guys face to face. It's kind of different than one of the analysis videos. It's a different type of flow that I appreciate. So the video a lot of people wanted me to watch is Boruto's Otsutsuki form is weird by Kawaki. I really don't know what he means when he says it's weird, because at the same time, I mean, we all know how Boruto's Otsutsuki forms work, right? I mean, it's pretty simple, and you guys can see on the screen right here. This Otsutsuki form with the horn, that just means that Momoshiki is in control of his body. I mean, it could be more to it because I know that Kawaki knows that, so I guess we just gotta watch the video to see what he means by it. So, hey, without further ado, Kawaki, I'm going to leave the link to his channel down below in the description. So if you're seeing this and you leave a like on this video, just go ahead and leave a like on that video as well. He makes great content. Great. And I'm going to just say it one more time. If you guys enjoy videos like this, if you guys want to see more videos like this, interested or whatever, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. You know, say you subscribe. You got to hit that subscribe button for your boy. But anyway, let's just get into the video.
So the Boruto manga just introduced a massive problem into the story.
Yeah, he's going to be a massive problem.
The continued existence of Boruto and Kawaki's Otsutsuki forms. This was revealed in the future possibilities shown by
Oh yeah, I hate the pause so early. I really do hate the pause so early. I know a lot of people be getting annoyed, but what's really weird is this form, Kawaki's V2 form. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, at the same time, we know that's his strongest Otsutsuki form, but he rarely uses it. And the thing about Boruto, right? It's not like Boruto can summon this form out of nowhere. Kawaki can. We've seen him do it back in, what, chapter 65? While still being in control of his own body. We know Boruto in this picture right here. As many people say, oh yeah, Boruto's in control of his body, is different. It's not. It's not. And I don't know where people kind of get these narratives and stuff. I guess sometimes people just want to be different, but Boruto, when he has his left eye closed and his right eye is open, it insinuates that Momoshiki is awakened and Boruto is asleep. When it's the opposite, that means Boruto is in control and Momoshiki is asleep. And when they're both open, it just means that Boruto is in control of both his power and Momoshiki's. I mean, it's basic logic. We're not new to the Boruto series. We already know this. So when people say things like, oh yeah, Boruto right here, he's in control, he just has Momoshiki's power and stuff like that, you know, it's cool to have your own thoughts and all that, but at the same time, it starts to rub me the wrong way when the story literally shows you what's going on right here and you just say, nah, something different is happening. I think it was like chapter 35 when Boruto threw the kunai down at the ground, right? A lot of people were saying like, oh yeah, that's code. Oh, that's Karin. They were saying it's everybody but Boruto. I mean, obviously the mass majority of people said Boruto, but it's like some people just try to go against the grain for no reason at all. I mean, the story literally shows you that Boruto uses these patterns and stuff like that on his kunai and ninja tools to use FTG. I mean, it was a little bit confusing because it wasn't a shuriken or it wasn't a shape, but at the same time, we know he uses all types of tools to use FTG. So it's like that. People just go against the grain even though the story literally shows them everything they need to know. So right here, I'm still gonna say, yo, Momoshiki has awakened and he's ready to wreak havoc. This is the one that's the most confusing. We gotta find out what it is about Kawaki's Otsutsuki form that is weird. Maybe he talks about Kawaki, maybe he used Boruto as like just a keyword to get a little bit more views or something like that, I don't know. But I feel like Boruto's form is not that weird. What's weird is Kawaki's Otsutsuki form.
Where not only does Boruto become borushiki once again, but Kawaki also transforms as well. This of course contradicts the current narrative, because the reason why Kawaki seeks external power-ups from Amado is because he doesn't have enough power inside him to complete his task, which would lead one to believe that either Kawaki no longer possessed the horn state, which is why he wasn't using it, or maybe that power coalesced into the version 1 state of the Karma Seal that is now merged with true essence. But based on the events of chapter 36, that appears to not be the case, which then of course poses a very important question. What is the purpose of this horn state? If Kawaki had more Otsutsuki power deep inside him this entire time, why didn't Kawaki sense it? Because again, the reason why he went to Amado is because he felt that he didn't have enough power to kill Jura.
Exactly. So that's what got everybody confused about this, because it's like, we know Kawaki has a whole nother form he can access via karma. And he didn't use it against Jura. I mean, he only fought Jura one time, and that wasn't to like try and kill him per se. It was just to buy Boruto enough time to get everybody out of Sunagakure. But I mean, if Kawaki felt like he could do it, he would go for it, right? And if that state was Kawaki's most powerful form, then it would make sense that he uses that form against Jura. What are the only times we've seen Kawaki in that form? I mean, I'm not talking about before Ishiki's death. I'm talking about after it. When Amado gave him the karma, when he wasn't a vessel anymore, when was the only time he used that power? I mean, he only used it one time, and that was the fight against Momoshiki back in chapter 65, 66 of part 1. He hasn't used it since then. And now, it's kind of like the same situation. Momoshiki has emerged, and we see Kawaki in his V2 state. So maybe it's not something that Kawaki can access by himself. Maybe it has something to do with Momoshiki. That could be something that the story is insinuating. Because if the only time Kawaki used that power is in the presence of Momoshiki, then you gotta think, maybe it has something to do with his Otsutsuki aura or something like that. You know, think of it as like resonance. When Boruto or Kawaki use the karma near each other, the other person's karma will resonate with the other one, causing it to activate. We've seen it numerous of times. So maybe it's a situation like that.
And Amado, who knows about that power, and Boruto as well, who saw that power himself, would lead him down that path because they needed that power to defeat the Shinju. But at no point throughout the entire narrative was this form even referenced by anyone in the story. It's as if that form never existed until this very chapter. And the very existence of it means that Kawaki hasn't been able to use his full Otsutsuki powers this entire time. I mean, Boruto went to the extent of giving his body to Momoshiki and even using Sarada as a pawn to take down these Shinjus just because they didn't have enough power to wipe them out easily, but never once thought to have Amado tinker with Kawaki to have him access this power more easily, instead of trying to defeat Jura in a weaker form despite being amped by Amado. So the only way this makes any sense is if Kawaki's horn state doesn't actually increase his power. Now that might sound crazy, but
I don't know.
Hear me out for a second. You see, for this to make sense, we have to understand that these forms are different for each of them. So when it comes to Boruto, his Otsutsuki form isn't really something Boruto taps into for more power. This only happens when Momoshiki decides to take control of Boruto's body, as shown in the battle versus Boro, then again in the fight versus Ishiki, and then also in the battle versus Code. Another identifier for this is that Boruto's right eye remains open, which shows that Momoshiki remains in control, and Boruto's left eye stays closed.
Yeah, and I mean, it is easy to say Boruto is stronger in this form, but all it really is Momoshiki in control. I mean, naturally, Momoshiki is stronger than Boruto. I don't know about right now, but in part 1, he was overwhelmingly stronger than him. So it just looked different. With all of Momoshiki's battle experience and techniques, you know, him being a true Otsutsuki, it just looked different with everything Boruto showed us with him using the karma. So it wouldn't even be crazy to say that Boruto is as strong as Momoshiki right now into the vortex. Or maybe the Boruto right now is stronger than borushiki while he's in control of Momoshiki's power. That means both of his eyes are open. So in that aspect, borushiki would be weaker than if Boruto was in control of his own body. I mean, but I don't know what it is for Kawaki because that's a totally different situation. He's accessed that form before, but he was still in control of his body. That means Ishiki was totally out the picture. So if that is a form that Kawaki can access whenever he wants to, you would think that he would call upon it way more often. But like I said, I think it has something to do with Momoshiki. I don't think we explored all the secrets behind resonance. Like, what is resonance, right? Why does Boruto and Kawaki's karma resonate with each other? And judging by Koji's prescience vision, it has to affect him to some degree.
Later on in chapter 78, when Boruto got slashed on his right eye, Momoshiki was able to manifest within his body without the manifestation of this Otsutsuki form. And the logical assumption here is that the more Otsutsuki Boruto becomes, because he was now 100% Otsutsuki as opposed to before, the easier it is for Momoshiki to control his body without these added features. Which also goes back to Boruto saying that he now feels like he can better channel Momoshiki's power. Now this is very important because prior to this, Code himself refers to Momoshiki's power in this Otsutsuki form as being totally different from Boruto's Karma strength, which would obviously be in reference to the Karma 1 state and the Karma True Essence form, which Boruto just awakened. And he also referred to the power as ridiculously destructive. It is the true Otsutsuki power. So that clearly implies that the power shown from this Otsutsuki form should be greater than True Essence and V1. So that should disprove my theory that maybe Kawaki's Otsutsuki form just doesn't increase his power, and that's why he didn't try to awaken it, and that's why Boruto didn't tell him to seek it out, and that's why Amado didn't try to tinker with his body so he could tap into it.
One thing that we're all missing here is that Kawaki is not 100% Otsutsuki. Boruto is. So let's say Boruto and Kawaki switch spots here. Let's say they switch places, no pun intended. So if Kawaki was the vessel of Momoshiki and Boruto just had a karma in the form of a weapon, no ties attached, there's a chance that Boruto would be able to access this form with the horn way more easily than Kawaki. Or let's just say they're both in the same predicament, right? Neither of them are a vessel, right? Boruto would probably be able to access that form without any real trouble at all. Because I think the fact that he's 100% Otsutsuki and Kawaki is maybe around 80% makes a huge difference in terms of how much Otsutsuki power you're able to summon. You just seen Code just said, this is the true power of the Otsutsuki. And maybe you can't access that power unless you are 100% Otsutsuki. And I always thought about this. What if Kawaki went through some procedure, right? From Amado or something like that, to give him that last 20% Otsutsuki DNA? Because that's the only way he would be able to unlock more of his true power. I mean, isn't it fair to say that Kawaki can't access 100% of Ishiki's power without being 100% Otsutsuki himself? I mean, that's fair to say. So let's just say that Amado has to make him 100% to really access Ishiki's true power. I mean, it is true. Kawaki has access to 100% of his karma's true power right now. But there's a level he can get above that, but that power would be hidden until he makes himself 100% Otsutsuki. But then here's the problem, right? He's not 100% Otsutsuki, and he's used this form before. But that goes back to what I said earlier in the video. He can only access this form around Momoshiki, around Boruto in Momoshiki's body, who is 100% Otsutsuki. So at the same time, it could be because Kawaki isn't 100% pure Otsutsuki. And then another part of me believes that Momoshiki's presence could help Kawaki access that form. So both things can be true at the same time. The goal here is to make sure Kawaki can access this form when he's not around Momoshiki. And for that, I think he'll have to become 100% Otsutsuki. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, because I think that theory does hold some merit.
You see, similar to how Boruto now being 100% Otsutsuki allows him to tap into Momoshiki's power easier, it also allows Momoshiki to manifest without the horn state. It could also explain why there isn't a difference between the power manifested by the horn state and the Karma True Essence state, at least not at this stage. Because I believe that the horn state is simply a temporary way to bypass the Otsutsuki not being inside a fully Otsutsuki vessel. Because if the more Otsutsuki Boruto becomes, the more access he gains to Momoshiki's power, that should also apply to Momoshiki. So the Otsutsukification of the body, which is gaining the horn and the physical features of the Otsutsuki and the dojutsu, allows Momoshiki to gain access to the power stored within Karma or the vessel's body before the body becomes 100% Otsutsuki. But once the body becomes 100% Otsutsuki, that is no longer required or needed.
Yeah, how many times have y'all heard that word this video? Like between me and Kidomaki, you probably heard Otsutsuki probably around like 150 times already. I don't even know. I don't know. By the time the video is done, y'all are gonna hear that word so much, y'all gonna be sick of it.
So in essence, there isn't a difference between True Essence Boruto and Borushiki. They're of the same power level. The difference is that Momoshiki is in control. That is the only difference between those two forms at this point in time, which means that should also apply to Kawaki, which goes back to my original point. The reason why Kawaki never sought to awaken that horn state or to access that power is because it isn't actually an increase in power, not at this point in time. Kawaki no longer has his limiters. He's able to access his full power at any point in time, which is how he knows he doesn't have the power needed to kill Jura, thus needing an external power boost from Amado. Now, for anyone that's confused about me saying that Kawaki and Boruto has true essence, despite them not having the new design on their tats when it comes to their face, let me explain that as well. You see, this is Karma V1 and this is true essence, at least when it comes to their face. And when it comes to their palms, that is where it gets a bit interesting. This is Karma V1 and this is true essence. True essence has the rings around their fingers every single time it's used, and Karma V1 does not. Now what you'll also notice is that both transformations also possess the rings around their fingers, which indicates that the horn state also possesses the power of true essence, which of course makes perfect sense since it is the higher state to the form itself. So Kawaki in part 1 pretty much skipped the true essence form and went straight to the horn state.
Yeah, but it's so crazy to think about that though. So if you want to say that there's no difference between Kawaki's V2 state and his Kawashiki form, then why does he have it if Ishiki is no longer alive? I mean, the whole purpose that Boruto has that form is to insinuate that Momoshiki has taken control of his body. But if that's no longer possible for Kawaki, then why give him that form? I'm not saying I'm going back on the theories I mentioned earlier because I still believe that to be true until proven otherwise. I'm just saying that if there's literally no point in that form, then why give it to Kawaki in the first place? And then we gotta really remember, Ikimoto doesn't do anything for no reason. So it's like, if he doesn't have to draw that form, he's not going to. If there's no power increase, if there's not nothing behind that form that he doesn't want us to know, then it wouldn't be in the story. So we know it does mean something. Even if it doesn't offer Kawaki a crazy power increase, it definitely has a background to it. So that narrative is still true. If it's not power, then it's something behind that form that he wants us to know. Maybe it's, like I said, in relation to Momoshiki, or it could just insinuate something about Kawaki's Otsutsuki DNA. So that is a possibility too.
Now for some reason, over the course of the time skip, version 1 state has merged with true essence. It does appear that they're still in V1 based on the face stat, but they have the rings around their fingers, which indicates that they're still using true essence. It's kind of similar to how Naruto's KCM design reverted back to the first one, despite him still using KCM 2. He doesn't have the cape anymore, he doesn't look the same, and more so conforms to what he's currently wearing, which is what KCM 1 did. Now, does that mean that Naruto is now weaker than KCM 2? No, it's just a simple design change. Now, this of course begs the question, why? Why does Kawaki have the horn state in this future timeline?
Yeah, for this it would be different
though. Any power and he doesn't have Ishiki tied to his body to control him similar to Boruto, what is the reason for Kawaki having this form active? Well, I have no idea. Now one possibility is that it does give him more control of his power, which I think does go back to the initial issue, because even if that's all it did,
it could be control.
You'd think that Kawaki would want more control, because more precise control leads to more power output, which was the entire point of True Essence. The battle experience allowed them to be stronger because it allowed them to wield the power better. So if this form also does that to a greater extent than True Essence, then why wouldn't he have wanted to attain it?
Okay, you can say control. Yeah, I wouldn't even be mad at you if you said that. So there's 3 possibilities that I gained from this video, right? Obviously, it's the one that Kitamaki said, control. It offers Kawaki more control to have that form, more control over his Otsutsuki power, his power output, just general control over his Otsutsuki DNA, whatever you want to say. 2, and what I think, it has something to do with resonance between his karma and Momoshiki slash Boruto's karma. That's why whenever he used his form right here, it was in the presence of Momoshiki. So think about it like this. Whenever Boruto uses the karma, whenever he was in his karma V1 state, Kawaki's karma also activated and vice versa. That's what resonance is. So when Momoshiki takes over his body and he manifests the horn, Kawaki can also manifest the horn as well, as a part of resonance. So even though it's the same power output, it's the same power level, whatever you want to call it, just Momoshiki's presence, his genuine Otsutsuki DNA allowed Kawaki to manifest the karma. But it's also possible, and here's the third theory, that Kawaki can only manifest his form on his own while being 100% Otsutsuki. So while he's 80% right now, he can't do it by himself. Only when he becomes 100% he'll be able to do it without any help at all. Let me know which one makes more sense. I don't know. Maybe they all make sense. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Maybe that form does make Kawaki stronger because it does make sense that it makes him stronger. But he can't really access it right now because he's only 80% Otsutsuki. So that might be the theory I go with, low-key. That's the most believable to me. But this form also grants him more control over his power. All the theories are believable, to be honest, but there's something bigger to this. There's definitely something bigger to this, and we probably won't find out until the next chapter or whenever. And we probably won't find out until the next chapter or whenever Kawaki shows us this form again.
The more likely case is that it's just a transformation that happens when Kawaki is a bit emotional. I say that because the two times we've seen this form is first when Jigen comes to the village and tries to kill Naruto, and Kawaki gets really
this don't
upset
count though.
About saving the
Ishiki was still alive.
He transforms into the form unknowingly. And the second time, interestingly, when Kawaki goes into this form is when Naruto's life was threatened once again by Momoshiki. I wouldn't be surprised if the reason why Kawaki goes into this form again is because when Momoshiki manifests in this form, he threatens to kill Naruto once again, and Kawaki gets really upset and it triggers his trauma, which is his fear of losing Naruto. That is what I think makes the most sense. Kawaki really hates the Otsutsuki, especially Momoshiki Otsutsuki, and he links them to every single problem in his life. So while one could say, well, if his need for protecting Naruto was the trigger of this form, why didn't he do that versus Jura when Jura said he was going to consume Naruto? It could be because the Shinju aren't closely associated with his trauma.
And you know what's crazy? This fight is only going to make Kawaki double down on him wanting to kill Boruto. It even might make him a little bit more crazy than he is already. This reunion between Momoshiki and Kawaki could just tell him yo, yeah, I definitely got to get rid of Momoshiki. I may have softened up a bit, but no, he has to go because he threatened to kill Naruto. I can't let that happen. So like I said, it could push Kawaki further and further into darkness to the Kawaki we see at the end of Boruto Triple Vortex. But hey, what do I know? All I know is that whenever Momoshiki and Kawaki come together, nothing good is gonna come out of it. So that's the end of the video, more or less. He didn't really say nothing after this, so I guess this is where we're gonna end the video. So let me know down below in the comment section. We talked about it. What do you think about Kawaki's Kawashiki form? We'll just call it that. Does it not offer him any additional power? Does it offer him more control over his power? Is it something he can only access if he was 100% Otsutsuki? Does it have something to do with Momoshiki or resonance? Let me know all that in the comment section down below. If you want to say all the above, you can. I mean, we don't know, so go ahead and launch them off in the comment section. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. So as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and don't mind seeing more like this in the near future, go ahead and leave that like, comment, subscribe, and turn on them post notifications so you don't miss another video like this or when I go live for chapter spoilers. Like I said, I'm gonna leave the link to Kidomaki's channel down below, so go check him out. And yeah, until my next one, I'll see you boys and girls later. And I'm out. Peace.